June 30th, 2026. Johannesburg wakes up to shuttered shops, empty streets, and a deadline that was never legally real. For weeks, that deadline hung over this country like a verdict. In a quiet Johannesburg suburb, a Malawian gardener heard it at his own gate. Be gone by today, or leave in a coffin. No court issued this ultimatum. No law backs it. The government itself has distanced itself from it entirely. President Cyril Ramaphosa put it bluntly.
We have also said that responsibility for enforcing our laws rests with the state and the state alone.
And yet the threat emptied border posts, shut down city centers, and ended real lives. So who actually set this deadline? And why did a nation organize around a threat with no legal power at all? More than 3 million documented foreign nationals live in South Africa, official figures show. How many more live here without papers is unknown, and that uncertainty sits at the heart of the argument. Unemployment sits at 32%. Hundreds of thousands of jobs vanished this year alone. Frustration like that needs somewhere to go. A coalition of movements found its target.
We are not here to ask. We are here to demand these jobs because all these people are South African nationals and they are not employed.
March and March set the June 30th deadline. Operation Dudula and a newer group, United South Africa, quickly endorsed it. One organizer, claiming personal credit for the date, commands 1.7 million followers and warned, "After today, I can't control the people of South Africa." March and March's own founder rejects the label entirely, insisting the movement is standing up for South African workers, not against foreigners. The flyers warning migrants of arrest and deportation by today were never real, officials confirmed, fabricated notices, not policy. South Africa has lived through this fear before. In 2008, xenophobic riots killed more than 60 people in 2 weeks. This time, the warnings turned real before the deadline even arrived. In Mossel Bay, 2 Mozambican men were killed and dozens of shacks burned. In Pietermaritzburg, a mob killed a Malawian man. Gunmen opened fire on a settlement in Johannesburg's Cleveland district.
Now, police have launched a manhunt for suspects following a mass shooting that claimed the lives of 12 people and left several others injured at Jumpers informal settlement in Cleveland.
The African Center for Migration and Society's own violence tracker counts 2 confirmed killings this year so far, a number researchers expect to climb as investigations continue. Police have arrested roughly 50,000 people since January on accusations of being in the country illegally. In Soweto, 5 people were arrested for looting a foreign-owned shop. In Hammersdale, 5 more for breaking into another. Police banned traditional weapons at the marches, a flashpoint since many protesters are Zulu and customarily carry shields, whips and sticks. And when the marches finally came, the streets answered. In Thembisa, rioters threw stones. In Benoni, officers fired warning shots after a 500-strong crowd turned on them. But not every street told the same story. In downtown Johannesburg, a group suspected of being foreign was surrounded by an angry crowd, then quietly shielded by other marchers and walked to safety. Faced with threats they couldn't verify and couldn't risk ignoring, tens of thousands chose to run anyway. Police say roughly 25,000 people have been repatriated so far. At Beitbridge alone, thousands crossed into Zimbabwe in under 2 weeks. In Durban, authorities tore down a transit camp that had sheltered mostly Malawians, racing to clear it before the deadline. Roughly 7,000 Malawians have gone home. Ghana, Mozambique, Nigeria, and Zimbabwe have all organized flights and buses for their citizens. Nigeria alone flew out 269 people on the eve of the marches, pushing its total evacuations past 600. South Africa claims hundreds of those repatriated Nigerians lacked proper papers. Nigeria disputes that entirely, a quiet diplomatic standoff playing out behind the headlines. One Malawian man, Nelson Mbewe, said he was simply told he didn't have the right documents and was called a slur reserved for African migrants. Another, Hassan Firi, still waiting to be processed, had a message for the protesters instead of anger. Africa cannot be Africa without each other, he said. Not without South Africa, not without Malawi. But here's the question that matters more than the deadline itself. Who actually benefits from any of this? If every undocumented migrant vanished tomorrow, would unemployment disappear? Would the power cuts stop? Would corruption end? Almost certainly not. Analysts call the campaign politically weaponized, timed 5 months before November's local elections. When citizens start setting immigration policy instead of their government, this stops being a migration story. It becomes a crisis of confidence in the state itself. Not everyone marching agrees they're driven by hate. One Soweto resident told the BBC the protesters simply want foreigners to follow South African law, nothing more. A member of Operation Dudula put it differently. If undocumented migrants don't leave, they'll push the police to do their job. Ramaphosa met protest leaders the night before the marches, urging them forward without intimidation, threats, or ultimatums. In his weekly newsletter, he reminded citizens that lawful foreign nationals work, study, raise families, and invest here, and are entitled to the protection of the Constitution. His government deployed police to flashpoint cities at a cost of hundreds of millions of rand, with soldiers on standby if the unrest spread further. The fallout has reached far beyond South Africa's borders. South African entertainers performing elsewhere on the continent have faced backlash and cancelled shows. Neighboring governments have quietly begun helping their own citizens come home. A continent that preaches integration is now watching Africans grow afraid to live in its most industrialized economy. By nightfall, the deadline had technically passed. No decree was ever signed, no mass expulsion order ever existed. But the fear was real, the deaths were real, the exodus of tens of thousands was real, and the conditions that made June 30th possible, joblessness, strained services, a government struggling to govern, are sitting exactly where they were yesterday. If the state keeps failing to enforce its own laws, someone else will always be waiting to enforce them instead. In 5 months, the same grievances return to the ballot box. The question was never really about one date in June. It's about who a struggling country chooses to blame and who keeps deciding that for everyone else. History has shown that when immigration policy moves from courtrooms to the streets, it's rarely just migrants who pay the price. It's democracy itself. That answer, for now, is still being written.